The college basketball experience, Notre Dame Fighting Irish 2022-23 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Networks, presented by WynnBET. Bet $100 at WynnBET and get a $100 free bet. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBET. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today. We're also brought to you by the college football experience. Get ready. College football season's here, and get ready by checking out all 131 college football team previews, a solo podcast for every single team in the FBS. Just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/CFB. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/CFB.
What's up, everybody? This is Cameron Crowe from Loyola Chicago Ramblers, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride. Shout out to the Broad Stop. Thank you, guys.
Yes. Woo! Welcome to the college basketball experience, Notre Dame Fighting Irish 2022-23 season preview episode. My name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I smoke and I drink, and I don't have stress, and I'm healthy.
Yes, I love talking Fighting Irish basketball. Been to South Bend, love South Bend. Shout out to the linebacker in Legend Sports Bar. It's a great time to catch Notre Dame football. Hopefully you're subscribed and you listen to. We did 2 episodes on Notre Dame football, so check out over there. Marcus Freeman about to enter year 1, and if you listen to last year's 2021's Notre Dame football preview, then you knew that I called for Mike Brey and Notre Dame basketball to make the NCAA tournament and win a game, which happened. All right, so. What a season. I'm getting it back to the NCAA tournament. Yes, it would have been nice to go further, but still a great year. I mean,
it's easy to see a tide turn.
Mike Brey, just come on. This is the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. He's done a fantastic job in South Bend. Originally hailing, coached with Morgan Wooten with DeMatha. My father played under Morgan Wooten at DeMatha a long time ago. Well, he got cut by Morgan Wooten too. But Mike Brey's a DC guy, and then he learned under Coach K down there in Durham. He's a fantastic coach. He's 472 and 259 in 21 years with the Irish. It's a rich program. Back to the days of LaFonso Ellis. Come on. I mean, they've had remember what, Pat Garrity? Was it Pat Garrity? I mean, but Brey's had this program rolling 21 years. Overall, he's 571 and 310. Either way, fantastic. You load up the years and you look at the years of Notre Dame basketball. You know, had a little bit of a rough patch, the previous 3 or 4 seasons, but last year, 24 and 11. All right, even in 19, he was 20 and 12. So he didn't make the NCAA tournament. Still 20 and 12. You can live with that. But go back to 17 and before that, they had some killer teams. The 32 and 16 in 2014-15. They have made the NCAA tournament. They're kind of like I get it. They had the rough 4 years, but from 2000 where he got there, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 12 NCAA tournament berths in 16 years. That is getting it done. I know he just won out of the last 5, but I kind of like what's going on in South Bend, and Mike Brey is a fantastic coach. There isn't any other way to cut it. Played ball at George Washington back in the day. He's a Colonial. So hell of a good coach, and I think he might have a feisty team again. You look at the team from a season ago, they were, I can tell you this. They were 20 and 15 ATS. So 57%. We're part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, so that's fantastic right there. We like the Irish, all right? I mean, but 24-11 overall, 15-5 in the ACC. That is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. You look at the stats from a season ago. This is why Mike Brey is really good. They were 31st in the nation at taking care of the basketball. I mean, that's fantastic. They got to the round of 32. Would have been nice to see a Sweet 16, but hey, maybe it's this year. Pace 258th, basically disproving the whole pace thing, saying, we can be slow. I know Tony Bennett does it too. We can play slow. We can win, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take care of each possession, not turning the ball over. We're gonna be efficient at the little amount of possessions that we get. Essentially, 56th in the nation in free throw shooting. See, they don't hurt themselves. Shout out to Mike Brey, does a great job. 51st in defensive rebounding. Now look, they were 335th in offensive rebounding. So that tells you right there, they probably weren't the most athletic team, but 51st defensive rebounding, boxing out, making sure they don't give up multiple possessions on that side of the court. 14th in the nation at shooting the three. So the fundamentals, they are just killing it right here. How about this? 69th in adjusted defense. Fantastic. 28th in adjusted offense. You know what that tells me right there? Out of all these things, I know there's some talented players on that team. Tells me Mike Brey can fucking coach, and that's a fantastic coach they got there. We're gonna get to we're gonna talk about what we have, for this season. Talk about who's coming in, who's coming out. But first, I want to get us paid. I want to tell you that the college basketball experience, Notre Dame Fighting Irish 2022-23 season preview episodes, brought to you by WinBet. Bet $100 at WinBet and get $100 free bet. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WinBet. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today. We're also brought to you by OddsTrader. OddsTrader is a place to compare odds from all the major sports books. You can also compare the different sign-up codes and promo codes to assure that you get the best deal from sportsbook to sportsbook. The app also provides. This is why my favorite part is these things here: player statistics, key game stats, injury reports, projected game day weather if you're betting on football or potentially baseball. But this one right here, it has a bet tracker, so bettors can keep records of all your games and all your betting activity, which is huge. For me, when you get me in November, December, I'm betting on like 6 different sports at once. Organize it for me, baby. That's what it does. Go to oddstrader.com/Blue Wire. OddsTrader, the #1 site for all your game day bets. We're also brought to you by Run Your Pool. Yes, Run Your Pool is the home of competition, bringing sports fans and their social circles together to compete, to connect, and make every game matter more. And Run Your Pool offers like every type of thing you can think of: Pick'em, Survivor, fantasy pools. And here at SGPN, we've teamed up with Run Your Pool. We're going to do our own SGPN NFL Survivor contest. Yes, hop in right now to reserve your spot. It's free to enter. $500 cash and a $250 gift card to the SGPN store for the winner. So what are you doing, bozos? Get in. Sign up today over at play.runyourpool.com/SGPN. Once again, that is play.runyourpool.sgp/SGPN. I'm sorry. So let me read that one more time. That is play.runyourpool.com/SGPN. We're also brought to you by Sleeper. Sleeper is the fastest growing fantasy platform today with millions of different players. You probably have a fantasy league on there already. I know I do. They just passed 4 million users. Okay. So it's not just, hey, here's my friend Bill's fantasy platform. No, 4 million different users. And they got this great over under game. You pick 2 or more players and you basically pick where you like the over or under on their stat projection. You can win anywhere from 2 times to 20 times the amount of money you put in. And with NFL season right around the corner, Sleeper is the first sports contest game built into the fantasy experience. Absolutely fantastic. On your mobile phone, join our listener group on Sleeper at sleeper.com/SGP, and Sleeper will automatically match your first deposit up to $100. Once again, that is sleeper.com/SGP. All right, we are back talking Irish basketball. What's not to like? I mean, do I have a? I feel like I have a. Let's go. Where we go? Where's our? I don't know. I have a line somewhere here. How about this?
Good round, you're celebrating with your appetite. Bad round, you're using your appetite to forget about the round. I'll tell you something about appetite. It's a real fucking great thing to have.
Bobby Knight with his words there. I know we're in Indiana here. I know it's the Notre Dame fans, but I feel like I could still get away with that. All right. Well, look, the big news here this offseason for the Irish is Blake Wesley is now on the San Antonio Spurs. You know, he averaged 14 points, 4 boards. He's gone. He's in the NBA. Paul Atkinson graduated. Great get, by the way, in the portal a season ago. 13.7 boards. They lose those two, which are a huge nucleus of that 2021 team. They also lost forward Elijah Taylor, who transferred out to Quinnipiac. He only averaged 3 points a game. Look, best wishes at Quinnipiac, but I don't think that was a gigantic part of the team. I don't think Brey is trying to replace that. I think Brey's trying to replace Blake Wesley and Paul Atkinson Jr. But you got good news. This, you know, we saw this all across the college basketball landscape. We saw with Armando Bacot, and all the way to Drew Timme. The NIL brought some players back. Now, who knows if that would have been this guy, but Nate Laszewski is back. He flirted with the NBA there. He's coming back. Just a shade under 10 points a season ago, 7 boards, shot 46% from 3. Yeah. And guess who's back with him? Dane Goodwin. Yes. 14 points, 5 boards. Once again, 46% from 3. I mean, that's unbelievable right there. Getting those two back. I also like them getting Cormac Ryan, 9 points, 5 boards. I think the guy that's going to have to step up is Trey Wirtz. Keep an eye out on Trey Wirtz. It might be a big factor on their team this year. But the transfer portal, they went out and they got Marcus Hammond, a transfer from Niagara. He was there with Greg Paulus up there. He averaged 18 points, 5 boards. That is a sneaky good get, much like the Atkinson Jr. get the year before. I like it. I like what they did there. And when I look at the starting 5, when you that I'm projecting, at least I know the magazines aren't out yet. This is just us spitballing here. What I think it's going to be is Hammond, Cormac Ryan, Trey Wirtz, Dane Goodwin, Nate Laszewski, which gives you a pretty good starting 5. Now I got to talk about the recruiting class they brought in, because they brought in the number 21 recruit in the country from LaPorte, Indiana, and G JJ Starling. What impact will he have on this team? I mean, Brey traditionally likes the experienced players. But hey, when you're bringing in top 100 recruits like that, they also got number 76 recruit in the country from Orlando, Florida, 6'8" forward Ven-Allen Lubin. Could be a great get. They also got a center in Dom Campbell, 6'8" center, 136 ranked recruit in the nation out of New Hampshire. So they brought in a pretty damn good class. How will that mix with this team? I think they got a good starting 5, and adding those 3 on the bench, mixing with a couple other veterans, you might have a pretty damn good team this year in South Bend. We're going to talk about the tournaments, the game set up, on the what we expect essentially out of Notre Dame. We don't have like odds yet on to win the ACC, but you better believe we'll cover that when those drop on the College Basketball Experience. But once again, I want to get us paid one more time. I want to tell you that the College Basketball Experience is brought to you by Trade Coffee. Trade Coffee connects customers to the freshest and best tasting coffee they've ever made at home by partnering with the country's best craft roasters. These are independent businesses from big cities and small towns. Trade customers are truly impactful for these independent roasters, often being the largest source of new growth for them. And let me tell you, it's expert tasted. All right. This Trade's coffee team actually taste tests thousands of different coffee every single day. They have over 450 different kinds live, ready to ship out to you at any time. That's incredible. Right now, Trade is offering new subscribers a total of $30 off your first order, plus free shipping when you go to drinktrade.com/SGP. That's more than 40 cups of coffee for free, people. Get started today by taking their quiz at drinktrade.com/SGP. We're also brought to you by Dave. Yes. No, I'm not talking about the next recruit coming in the South Bend. I'm talking about Dave, the banking app that can help you get up to $500 instantly with extra cash. Hello, that's more money to fill your tank, buy a wedding gift, catch up on bills, hit the Notre Dame football game, catch Marcus Freeman era, hit the Notre Dame basketball game to see Mike Brey produce another tournament caliber team. Yeah, I mean, look, we've all been some spot in life where we've needed money. You know, I remember one year I had 2 apartments, like the apartment that me and my my ex wanted to get at the time. We needed to get it then. So I actually had 2 apartments the same month, because if I had let it go, I wasn't going to get it. So I all of a sudden on a whim signed a lease, and I'm like, shit, I just need money. I've run, my savings are low, and I could have used Dave, because then I mean, most of the time you end up having to call friends, family. You know, it's kind of embarrassing. You're saying, hey, can you help me out? You know, that's when you need Dave. You know, you can avoid the embarrassment. Essentially, there's no interest. There's no credit check needed. Check out Dave, guys. Download the Dave app from the App Store right now. That's DAVE. Sign up for an extra cash account and get up to $500 instantly. For terms and conditions, go to dave.com/legal. Instant transfer fees applies. Banking by Evolved, member of the FDIC. All right, we are back talking a little Irish basketball. What I know everyone always wants to talk about Irish football, right? Shout out to Notre Dame football. They're recruiting at an unbelievable level right now. And, but don't forget, Mike Brey does a great job with the basketball program.
This is the most beautiful sight these eyes have ever seen.
I don't know if that was heard. That was Rudy that I quoted there. Seemed a little low. I got to turn that one up. But let's talk about this team. So with that projected lineup that I see, the schedule, and I know this isn't all the way final yet. We don't even have the ACC schedule yet, but I know they get what I think they have matchups penciled in. They have Radford on the schedule. That should be a win. Youngstown State, that should be a win. Southern Indiana, brand new to D1 college basketball. Excited to talk about them later. That should be a win. Lipscomb, that should be a win. These are all at home. They get Bowling Green. Now that one, they should beat Bowling Green, but Bowling Green actually fields a pretty good basketball program. So if there was ever going to be an upset, maybe that would be that one. Out of the ones I mentioned, that is. They get the Michigan State game. How fantastic is that? All right. Big Ten ACC matchup, November 30th. So right after we get our Thanksgiving, right after we get the USC Notre Dame game in LA for football, we get the Michigan State matchup in South Bend. Sign me up for watching every second of that matchup. Tom Izzo against Mike Brey. Those are 2 fantastic coaches going at it. They also in South Bend, they're going to get Boston U. Marquette, Shaka Smart and Marquette coming to South Bend. They lost some pieces. I know Shaka overachieved in year 1 in Marquette, but they lost some critical pieces. Justin Lewis gone. It's gonna be tough to see how fast. I think this year's gonna be harder on Shaka than the first year actually. So I know he just landed a big recruit. I think actually yesterday or today, but I kind of expect Notre Dame to win that one. I think they're the better team now. I mean, obviously, they're capable of losing to Marquette. Marquette's talented. I love that matchup. I actually, the home and getting Jacksonville on December 27th. Watch out, man. The Jacksonville Dolphins were not bad last year. They actually were like a darling of mine from a ATS thing. And remember, folks, on the college basketball experience, you will hear me every night. There will be a podcast out for the college basketball season. The Jacksonville Dolphins treated me kind. I'll say that. Overachieved greatly in year 1. So I would watch out. I mean, obviously Michigan State and Marquette, the top 2 home matchups going on in South Bend, but I watch out a little bit for Bowling Green and maybe Jacksonville. All right. They're in the Gotham Classic this year, which is fantastic. In Belmont Park, New York, they're going to take on the Bonnies, St. Bonaventure, who lost a ton to the portal, by the way. Like Kyle Lofton's now a Florida Gator. They lost a couple kids to Iowa State. They lost a kid to Alabama. I fully expect Notre Dame to win that game. I know Schmidt keeps it decent, does a decent job up there, in Bonaventure, but I expect that to be Notre Dame all day, taking care of business there. They also are going to play in the Holiday Hoops Giving going on in Atlanta, Georgia, on December 18th. They are going to be taking on the Georgia Bulldogs. See, that is a matchup I think they should win. I know Mike White comes over from Florida, and I think it was a good get for Georgia. Crazy that they were able to sway a Florida coach to go to Georgia with that rivalry there. But I right now, looking at that schedule without the ACC, I think they're going to be able to be winners and they should be able to win all those games, except the Michigan State and maybe the Marquette. I mean, yes, Jacksonville might give them a game. They're not expecting if you don't bring your A game. St. Bonaventure is capable of beating you. Even Georgia, if you don't bring your A game, maybe that could be a game. But I do expect Notre Dame to beat Georgia. I expect Notre Dame to be favorites against St. Bonaventure, against Bowling Green, against Jacksonville, and frankly against Marquette in South Bend. I think the only game they could like flat out might be a dog at is that Michigan State game. But I don't know. Those teams haven't been as good as they traditionally have been lately. They're still good, but not national championship good. Man, sign me up for the Irish. And let's talk about. We don't have the ACC schedule right now, and trust me, we will do a podcast when that drops. But okay, we know North Carolina is going to be the team to beat. Baycott's back, Love's back. They brought everybody except Manic back, pretty much. All right. Okay. We know UVA is going to be a lot better, but UVA is always susceptible to losses because of the style of play that they play. But Kie Clark's back. They're a veteran team. They add Vanderplas. They still have Jaden Gardner. So if I had to forecast it, I think those are probably going to be your top two teams in the ACC. Duke is incredibly young, but they're incredibly talented. Coach K's gone. Life after Coach K. Is there some vulnerability there? I think with the youth and the fact that Coach K is no longer walking on that sidelines. Now, did they make a good hire? That remains to be seen. Shire's probably going to be a good hire. I trust the judgment of Coach K, but there is opportunity for wins here. And I've said this, if you've been listening to all of our ACC previews, I said this with Boston College. I said this with Clemson. I said this with Florida State and Georgia Tech. All right. And I'm going to say it with the rest we cover, even Pitt. There's wins to be made out there, but I do think there is a pecking order. I think if I had to forecast it right now, obviously Carolina clear cut one. If I had to go number two, I would say the Virginia Cavaliers. If I had to say number three, I would say the Duke Blue Devils, but I am a little bit worried about that youth. I think Notre Dame is right there after that with Florida State. I would put Florida State and Notre Dame right there at that next tier. After that is everybody else. So that means Notre Dame, if you can have that success out of the conference like I've just projected, let's just say they lose to Michigan State, but they beat Marquette. So you're talking 11-1 out of conference there. And then within the ACC, if you can take care of business against the teams you're supposed to beat, Syracuse, Boston College, Pitt, NC State, Wake Forest, Virginia Tech. They lost Kiva Luma, so I give Notre Dame a little bit of a heads up on Va Tech, but Va Tech's still going to be good. You know who I throw in the mix with Florida State and Notre Dame? I throw the Miami Hurricanes in there because they got Nigel Pack from Kansas State. They got some guys from the portal that I think that team will be pretty good. So I'll put them in the mix. But they should be beating Clemson. I think they're a little bit of heads up on Louisville. So to me, and I think they'll be able to beat like a game. If Notre Dame's playing Virginia tomorrow, I would favor Virginia, but not by much. I think it's a game. With that projected starting five, if they can stay healthy, I think they'll be in the mix. I think this is a tournament caliber team going on in South Bend. I can't wait to watch them. I think the season goes as far as some of those freshmen go, but also Marcus Hammond, I think, is the most important player coming in at the point spot from Niagara. And he was a baller at Niagara, but what do Mike Brey teams do? They take care of the rock. So I think he is the X factor. Yes, you can put Trey Wirtz in there, and I expect Trey Wirtz's points and stats to go way up. He shot 39% from three a year ago, but Marcus Hammond, I think, is the real X factor for the Irish this year. I'm very excited to watch him, and I also want to see some of those freshmen on the bench get some PT. JJ Starling, Ven-Allen, Lubin, Dom Campbell. How much burn will they get? Because Brey does like the veterans, but when they do, how will they perform? I can't wait. I think that schedule, I know they could potentially add some more games there, but I think that's if you're a Notre Dame fan, you should be really excited about what's coming this year. I think they could. I mean, if Duke's playing in South Bend, like I said, I don't have the schedule in front of me, or it's not out yet. That's a winnable game. Okay, if it's in Durham, probably not going to win that, but who knows? You're a veteran team. Duke is so young. Really, I think every game is winnable, with the exception of the North Carolina matchup. And even with that, if North Carolina goes into a funk like they did last year for a little bit there, wouldn't shock me, but I still think Carolina is the team to beat, not only in the ACC, maybe within the whole country, I think. I can't wait to watch this. I cannot wait. Subscribe to the College Basketball Experience, people. I'm going to forecast. I think Notre Dame's a tournament team, and it wouldn't shock me if they won a couple games in the tournament. I wouldn't be surprised. Field of 32, field of Sweet 16. It all matters about matchups. I feel like once you get in the NCAA tournament, so it's hard to just say forecast, hey, this is a Sweet 16 team. I just think this team is going to be pretty good, though, and they don't really give teams opportunities. Like they take advantage, like I said, on the free throw line, 3-point shooting. They take care of the ball. Having that, it's tough to go against that. You know, if you're especially one of these younger teams, like a Duke, or like a some of these other teams in the ACC, even Boston College, I think is pretty young. So I think it's going to be must-watch TV. I cannot wait to catch the Irish. Folks, subscribe to the College Basketball Experience because we talk college basketball year-round here. Also, remember to subscribe to the College Football Experience because we talk college football year-round there. And together, we're on YouTube as one, youtube.com/the College Experience. Check us out, folks. Tell a friend. And check out, well, first off, give us a 5-star review, please. All right. Go over to iTunes. It takes 1 minute out of your day, guys. We're going through all these team previews. That's the least you can do. Come on, get over there. Give us a 5-star review. Say some kind things about us. If you do that, take a screenshot. Find us on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. Show us that screenshot, and we're going to enter you in a David Stern-like raffle where you're guaranteed to win at some point to catch some SGPN merch. Do that. I'm on Twitter at TheColbyD. Give me a follow. Patty C is on Twitter, Patty C831. NC Nick's on Twitter, NC_NICK. We are the College Football Experience and the College Basketball Experience. So subscribe, tell a friend. Shout out to my guy Dano Carter, by the way, comedian from Notre Dame. I'm sure we're going to be talking Notre Dame hoops with him as the season goes. Everyone check out his comedy if you're ever in Manhattan Beach or Los Angeles. Check out Poncho's Monday Nights comedy. Absolutely fantastic. He also does another one, I believe, at Hennessy's in Hermosa Beach. But check out Dano Carter. Go Irish. That's what he would tell me. Folks, also check out the Sports Gambling Podcast. They cover everything. Right now, you got the 32 NFL teams. They did 32 episodes for 32 NFL teams. Whoever your team is, if you're Colts, if you're Bears, whatever, if you're Giants, Jets, Pats, I don't know. Check it out. It's out there. And they don't just cover NFL. They cover everything. There's college basketball episodes we drop over there. There's college football episodes we drop over there. Literally every sport, the Kentucky Derby, whatever. Check it out. Just had Pat McAfee on the show not that long ago. Mike Leach, Phil Steele. Check all those episodes out, and they're all there for you. So subscribe to the Sports Gambling Podcast as well, and all of our feeds. You know, right now it's MLB season. You know, MLB Gambling Podcast. Check out that. They do great work. Shout out to Moonoff and Noah and all those guys that do great work over there. But if you get the SGPN app, which is free to download in the App Store, you'll get access to all of our shows. Like I said, we mentioned horse racing. Check out the Notorious OTB gambling podcast, right? It doesn't matter if you're soccer fans. World Cup's around the corner. Soccer gambling podcast, NBA gambling podcast, and NHL, whatever you name it, we got it. How about the College Baseball Experience? I host that with Noah Beanick. Notre Dame had quite a good run last season, so check out that as well. But if you get the app, you'll get all access to that and the Discord channel, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. If you're sweating out bets, or even if you're just a fan of the sports, world, whatever, you could be watching Notre Dame basketball or the fucking motocross 3000. Hop in the Discord. It's fun to talk with, connect with people that are watching the same sports. Even if you're not betting on it, it's fun. I do it all the time. So, but if you're betting on it, it's way better. You can also get some great betting tips in there. So check it out. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. All right, folks, this is the College Basketball Experience, Notre Dame Fighting Irish style. I'm your leprechaun. You better start thinking about yours, and we out of here.
Thank you. Well, this is a great way to get started, and I haven't even won all my games yet. It's a great night to be a Tiger. I'm here with my family, and we are so excited.
Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
You're nothing
playing it, just play it.
When we were winning conference titles and going to the Final Four, we were making a statement.
Coaching, our coaching did a horrible job. The players did a horrible job. We got our ass kicked in the second half.
Well, I know that. They bring the head cold, but.
Get my limousine right on 85.